Continuing on, we also have to mention Keinemusik. Keinemusik did their coming home festival celebration in Berlin the other day, and that was maximum. That had to be maximum FOMO for me. That looks so fucking fun. That's the one thing that I'm really fucking jealous I didn't go to and couldn't have gone to. But that looked like a vibe. Riznik's return. Riznik was one of the OG members of Keinemusik. He left to kind of do his own thing, which kind of left the other three to kind of focus on it. But he came back, did a bunch of back-to-backs. I saw some of the clips from the after party. They look fucking sick. But what they did for their Berlin show at the Tempelhof Airport, the abandoned Tempelhof Airport, was fucking phenomenal. The amount of people they had out there was incredible. Production-wise, the money they put into it, again, you have to big them up because I feel like every kind of like event I've seen them do from London all the way, I feel like they've increased their production. So I'm not too sure if they're kind of reinvesting whatever money they make from one festival, one party into the next one, but they keep on upping the ante. And you have to give these guys credit for doing so because a lot of people would just like, you know, charge a bunch of money, which they did, by the way. They did charge quite a bunch of money for the tickets for this event. I think I saw tickets on Live Nation going for like €100, €200, crazy. But of course, on the day and before it happened, if you went on Cloud Music, the subreddit, if you went on the comments on Keinemusik crew, you would have saw a bunch of people selling their tickets last minute, which is kind of goes back to my thesis that I don't think you should ever buy tickets too far in advance. I feel like people are so flaky. People are so kind of wishy-washy that there's never an event really that's truly sold out. If you really want to go to an event, especially a rave, either you can buy a ticket on the day if you're sharp and you're attentive, or if you turn up to the rave itself in person with enough time, you can get let in, especially if you're by yourself. Someone's going to let you in. But this idea that things are completely sold out, shut up, man. You don't need to buy anything ahead of time because the amount of tickets I saw available for resale from this thing, it was crazy. And I think people should have gone, but they just changed them at last minute. Anyway, regardless, Keinemusik crew put up some clips and some pictures of what went into the production of their Berlin show that I'm going to show you. This is one thing that they kind of showed where they had these kind of like crates that they turned into pop-up shops. Kind of reminded me of pop-up Brixton and stuff, or Box Park, sorry, here in London. And they had different brands taking over the different crates and selling their wares. Obviously, they had fucking Rampers, electronic brand, Teal. They had a few other brands as well taking place. I thought it was a really neat idea because I mentioned it before that I really am perturbed why more raves, why more promotions, why more party collective don't sell merch in their raves. Like if you go to a lot of these parties like that do their own merch, they don't want having them available for you to just buy, you know? Again, I've never been to a Teletech rave, but I'd imagine if you go to a Teletech party, they'll probably have a small selection of teas, of like side bags, something in it, whistles, fucking fans available so you can purchase, because I'm not sure about you, but I'm not gonna trust the DJ to send me a package, you know? I'm not gonna give them €60 for a fucking side bag and wait 12 weeks. I'd rather go to a rave and see you play, and if you've got a t-shirt available, I'd buy it right there. Especially if you've got a chip and pin machine, I'm gonna buy it right there. But people aren't that, I don't know. People don't like doing that because I guess if you're a DJ, logging all that fucking stuff around of you is fucking annoying. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, let's play the clip. Why is it not playing? Why is there no music here? Why is there no sound? It's not muted. This is not. But you can see anyway, there's a clip. It shows all the different brands. Civilist, a skateboard shop in Berlin, was there. Teal was there selling some wares. Public Possession, the label out of Germany. Misbehave, who've collaborated with a bunch of stuff with Keinemusik. A group called Fam, and Rockstar Games, actually, which is interesting. Rockstar Games are Keinemusik usually have a radio station thing that they do with Rockstar when it comes to Grand Prix Auto. But it's fucking great, man. Honestly, merch from all those brands available. So big up them. Let's see the next slide. You see all the different carts, the different containers. Keinemusik, Teal, Civilist, Misbehave, Public Possession, and of course Fam. Great to see. Let's see the next slides. This is Keinemusik Berlin. Let's go. Doors opening soon. It shows you a first slideshow featuring Anmi, Rampa, and Adam Port standing in front of the peace sign from Keinemusik. I think in every location that they've been at, they had a different sort of display, a different sort of, you know, whatever sign that they put at the DJ booth. The London one, they had a really cool London Underground sign that said Keinemusik in the middle. And then I guess in other locations, they changed it from a cloud to that airplane illustration. And in this particular show in Berlin, they had the cloud as a peace sign, which is pretty cool. You see everybody wearing their fucking yellow fluorescent vest there. Kind of reminding me of those two guys that DJed together and spoke a bunch of weed. You see they're working on the construction of the sign itself. Guys turning up ahead of time to get it all sorted and shit. Adam Port, inspecting some of the speakers with a very, very nice leopard print bag there. I'm not mad at that tote bag. If you know the idea on that, let me know in the comments. That's I guess that's the inflatable peace sign, I think. Yeah, that might be the inflatable peace sign. I'm not too sure. They've also put some graph on there as well on the peace sign. Crew Berlin KM there, a nice little hand style there. I'm not too mad at. A lot of the Keinemusik team. I wonder how many people actually work for Keinemusik, the label, all around. Actually keep it running behind the scenes, because I wonder if they got full-time employees or if it's just people working seasonally. Because it must be a big operation to keep this thing running. There was a coffee place, Kukuma Coffee there also, setting up all the fucking decks as well, all the equipment. I wonder as well how many people are actually out there. That might be another good thing to start. Instead of people going out there, and again, if you listen to my voice and you're interested in dance music shit, instead of being focused on trying to become a DJ, why not start your own fucking equipment hiring company? Buy a bunch of fucking decks and shit, and then fucking lend them out. You know what I mean? Lend them out or hire them out to fucking collectives and parties and shit, and charge a decent rate or whatever for equipment. That might be the way to go about doing things. That could be a good option to get yourself involved with certain things and shit. You see the ticket, the speaker there, the teal speaker speaks tickets, another teal bits and pieces as well. Next slide, some more clips and pictures as well for what happened over there during the Berlin session. The caption says, "Berlin, we are back home. This was a very emotional show for us. Thank you for all coming. What a boogie. A special thanks to our whole team and the people that work so hard to make this possible." And from what I've seen with the reviews, I've seen only great things. I feel like they had a couple of missteps in between, but I've heard only good things from the New York show, and I've heard only good things from this Berlin show. So it seems that they're learning from their mistakes. I also see less complaints in the comments. So even though they didn't publicly address some of the issues that happened in London, I feel like they took some of that feedback and have applied it into the different parties they've done. So you can only give them credit for doing so. Look at the amount of people. That's Tempelhof Airport, right? Over there in Berlin. That's abandoned now. I don't know if what's the long-term plan for that space overall. I know that there was one time they kind of changed it into like this kind of co-working party thing. Then I don't know where that's gone. I know, just generally people tend to go out there and, sit on the grass and sunbathe and whatever, picnic and shit. People use the tarmac where planes would land and shit, and they use that, or the runway, they'd use that for skating purposes and shit. I see a lot of people doing rollerblading content and shit over there. So it does get used, but it's a big space. So could you imagine just the amount of people that are there? Like, that's a huge amount of people. That looks like fucking, oh shit, look at what they've done. That's a bit naughty, isn't it? It's a bit it's segmented. I wonder why they did it that way. I guess it's crowd control. So this is a bird's eye view of the show. You see the stage here, right, with the peace sign. And it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like there's gaps in between. So there's a gap here. So maybe this front bit is a VIP area. So maybe, in a weird way, it makes no sense, but maybe there's different tiers. So tickets. So if you have a ticket, so maybe the tickets to this section are more expensive than that section and that section. Fuck, you won't be able to see anything at the back, innit? You won't be able to see jack shit right back here. God damn. It's a bit tight, that. But there's some pictures as well of the guys behind the booth having a great time. They had a fun fair. There's a Ferris wheel there too. Raw Ted, man, that's fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie, that must have been such a fucking fun vibe. And there's the cloud. It's kind of covered in fucking fake cobwebs and mold and shit. I kind of like it. It looks kind of all weathered and shit as well. Because I think it rained, if I'm not mistaken. It did rain. There's Riznik, the legend. I think it also rained, so that probably helped with the vibes, I'd imagine. When it rains, people sometimes can get a little collective feeling and shit, and they really start going crazy under the fucking rainfall and whatnot. So that's great to see. Everyone going fucking nuts. Oh, Adam Port's doing a new thing now. People are gonna copy that, I guess, because I feel like he's definitely the originator of that fucking silk head wrap over the hat, right? The babushka thing. A lot of people do that. Fans, even when they go to their shows, wear that sort of shit, which is really cringe and lame. I'd never wear it anyway, and I'm definitely not wearing it after I've seen people wearing that sort of stuff personally. But I wonder if people are gonna start doing this now, what he's doing now, where he's got the silk scarf wrapped around, you know, wrapped across his body as a sort of quasi bag thing going on there. So this will probably be the next thing people copy from him, because it feels like he's a bit of a trendsetter in that way. Personally, find your own shit, but hey, if you're gonna copy someone, I guess copy him is not so bad. More pictures of the sign, more pictures from the crowd, more pictures of the sign, more pictures of everyone behind the booth having a blast, and yeah, Keinemusik fucking smashing it. Keinemusik absolutely smashing it. Do you have any video clips actually? Let me see some video clips from there. Any video clips? There you go. Where the Keinemusik journey began back in January, back in 2009. So they started off at Tempelhof. Is that what you're trying to say?
Coming back to us, the way we dance and way we make love. I can't stop chasing.
This is pretty cool as well. It's shot in that old VCR, old digital camera thing that everyone's doing nowadays. I feel like it's all kind of played out. Like I feel like, you know, lame, mediocre, non-famous people online are kind of doing it now, and it's kind of like losing its oomph, or just not doing it in a creative way in general. But it does look cool. You can't deny it. It's a bit, maybe there's too much nostalgia attached to it, because I used to film videos like that when I used to kind of use my digital cameras and shit. But it is kind of cool to see people kind of utilizing old digital cameras to film clips and video clips of themselves in raves and shit, to kind of give, you know, the rave a certain type of texture and feeling. Not so sterile as a camera phone from your as a video taken from your iPhone and shit. Probably won't have as good audio. A lot of those cameras from back in the day, when you zoomed, the sound would cut out. I know that from back in the day, the digital cameras, if you tried to record video, every time you zoomed, the sound would cut out, and the microphones in general were just fucking garbage anyway. But I do like the texture of the videos myself. Yeah, big up them, big up them. I'm actually curious to see if I can go on the Tempelhof, if I can go on the Tempelhof location thing, maybe I'll be able to see more clips. I want to see what it actually was like there on the ground for the people then, because it looked like a fucking vibe. This guy went there, right? Let's see what this guy did. Big up Tom. Let's see what Tom did out there. What's the vibe saying? Yeah, look at the speaker stacks, man. You see, they could. I wonder if you're just a bit humstrung in London. You're just humstrung in certain fucking places around the world, because look at the amount of speakers they had stacked up, suspended in the air, belting out the music at high volumes, because they don't really have the same type of like noise pollution laws that we have here in London that prevent certain festivals from putting on a good show, because you just have to keep the volume level at a certain fucking decibel, or the neighbors get pissed off, and then your fucking whole shit gets shut down. So a lot of it is not really the fault of the festivals, really, it's just the fault of the fucking shitty councils and stuff. But look at the amount of speakers, man. They went crazy, innit? So no wonder people were actually saying so many good things about this Berlin Keinemusik party. Big up Tom. Big up Tom. And you know what as well, right? For someone like myself that's been to a lot of like Berlin raves and stuff, like that's probably the reason why they're so successful too. Because obviously they originate, I think most of their members, I think they're all from Germany if I'm not mistaken, but they're kind of, you know, all kind of, from what I remember anyway, I kind of associate with them with Berlin. Can you imagine when they were coming up, how refreshing it must have been to go to a rave? Maybe not, maybe it's a bit, I'm misconstruing it, but it still must have been refreshing to go to a party and have people dressed this way, you know? There's not a lot of black on display here, you know? There's a lot of like light colors, a lot of bright colors, a lot of like, you know, just regular clothes. It's quite refreshing, honestly, because the first time you actually go to these places like Berlin and stuff, it kind of is a little bit weird how normalized it is people to wear black, or to have fucking double sole shoes and fucking septum piercings and those weird fucking you know, tattoos that look fucking awful and probably aged really terribly and shit. Everyone looks the fucking same. So it must be a bit of a refresh, a bit refreshing to have people look this way and raving and partying, having a good time. Maybe, you know, like this girl out here, you know, smoking a joint instead of maybe having some pills and shit, having a good time. And it's still a bit of a vibe. So big up them. That's good. Oh shit, he's got a, is that an official jacket? Is that an official Keinemusik jacket? That's pretty cool. Big up the guy Tom. You got someone to film him from the back, and he's got this jacket or this shirt that has like a cloud pattern all over it and a big black peace sign on the back. I ain't mad at that. 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 Yeah, that looked fucking vibey. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, as I was complaining about the gaps in the field and stuff, or the gaps where everyone's performing, the good thing about the gaps, it looks like, is that you could move around freely. It didn't look like everyone was crammed. It didn't look like it was oversold. You know, you could kind of spread out, find your corners. And because they had speakers literally suspended from the air, massive stacks all over the place, the sound would hit you in some point. So as much as it's weird that they kind of separated out everybody, you know, like there was kind of like tiers and groups and places there to sit at. The good thing is you can probably freely move around. Okay. Big up them. Let's see some more clips from people. I want to see some more stuff, a couple more bits here, then we can move on. That's not kind of music there. Is this from recently? Oh, it's November. Okay, cool. Let's go recent then. Let's do recent. Probably I should see a lot more recent on here. There's some more clips on here. Where are they? You see them. That's the Tom guy again. That's somebody else. What's this? This guy, what's this? Keinemusik playing my song, Break From It, in front of 65,000 people. That's pretty cool. I don't like this reaction thing, though. I'm not going to lie. This is pretty cringe and GAY. Him having a split screen with himself, kind of vibing along to it with no headphones and shit in a room. It kind of it doesn't look like he's listening to it at the same time. But yeah, I don't like the way he did this, but this is a pretty good achievement. So congratulations to him. But the way he's doing it is a bit cringe. Don't worry, good tune. Congratulations, guy, but don't do that ever again. No, please. Please, I beg of you. Is there some other clips, another person? This person, look like they had the blast over there at Keinemusik. Big up Laura. Big up Laura, it's nice. I wonder how it must feel for those guys to go through, because I feel like whenever I look at the crowd at Keinemusik rave, which I think is a real indication of if you're doing something right. Because I look at tech culture crowds, big up tech culture crew, big up night service crew, big up Club Air, which I've never been to, but I've seen from. But I feel like the best parties usually have a crowd that reflects the people that put the party on. They look almost the same. So I wonder how weird it must feel for those guys to look at the crowd and see a bunch of guys in like snapbacks, a bunch of girls that look like they're girls associated with the label, a bunch of fucking silk head wraps and shit, silk scarves and shit, you know, a bunch of kind of music. It must be an odd feeling. see so many people kind of copying exactly what you look like. It's such, as a grown adult, it's like, huh. More people here under the stage having a good time. Okay, so these people are really important there because they're right at the front. Whoever this person is, she's right at the front here, right next to the stage, next to these guys playing. Teal advertisements everywhere, by the way. It kind of, you know, as great as it is, it kind of looked like it turned into a bit of a branding exercise, didn't it? Right? They had all those containers with people selling stuff. Teal headphones that just launched. Actually, they look cool, but still, everyone's got the same headphones on. Teal insignia with speakers, advertisements all over the shop. Yeah, a lot of branding, a lot of merchandise, a lot of sales are made at this particular party, but I can't blame them for it. So he just wears the scarf around his over his shoulder like an accessory, like a weird tie thing. Okay, fair play. If I see you wearing your scarf like this, your silk scarf like this, I know you're copying Adam Port. And just think to yourself, just think in your own head as a grown-ass man, copying how another man dresses is fucking gay. I think copying how another man dresses is actually more gayer than actually having sex with another man. I swear to God. There's nothing wrong with that either, by the way. Big up my LGBTQ plus man then. But I swear to God, like, dressing up like a DJ is fucking bizarre. But hey, what do I know? More clips of people. Someone there filming, I guess. Picture photographer. A little Polaroid snap there. And more clips of them people playing and shit. Oh, hold on, actually. Was it filmed? Oh, look at somebody was okay. So maybe we're gonna get a full. Maybe in the future we're gonna get a full fucking set recording of what happened. Look at someone was filming the set on a proper professional camera. Sick. Okay, we might get that footage sometime in the future. This music is just so like, as much as I feel like I could say it's hypnotic, it just feels really boring, innit? But then I guess, to be honest, it's a natural reaction to like the hard techno 150 plus stuff that just doesn't seem like it's danceable. So I get there has to be some sort of middle ground, you know? You can't have everything, you know? I get it, but it just sounds so boring. Like it sounds like fucking Xanax house, you know? If that makes any sense. Oh, okay. So that was the thing that the thing that they were blowing up. That's pretty cool, actually. It's like this weird peace sign that's like free. It's like an inflatable tent thing. Okay. There we go. People in the back. Oh, he's obviously he's got the fucking that good Stussy jacket on. Fucking Adam Port, the cunt. I'd love to see more people on the stage there. More clips, people eating peace, having a good time. More. Let's see some more stuff on here. Cool. Everyone has a glove. There must have been an abundance of white pants out there, innit? The amount of white pants out there, the amount of people wearing white trousers at this Keinemusik Berlin thing, it must have been in the triple digits. It must have been in the triple, especially with the sun out. You know, guys, how we're like, innit? You only pull out the white pants when the suns are out and the holes are out. You get me? You get your metrosexual on. So the amount of pants must have been high, the white pants. Fine. Okay, that's a vibe. I'm not gonna lie, that's a fucking vibe. That's a fucking vibe. Let's actually check out the Reddit. A lot of people did have some good reviews. How was the Berlin show? Somebody posted on the Cloud Music flipping subreddit. Absolutely unreal. These are the reviews that you want about your rave, innit? Absolutely unreal. I've seen them multiple times, and this is by far the best. Also rained earlier during the event, but cleared up for the set. Absolute all-timer. And if they do a show in Berlin again, it'll be an insta buy for me, regardless of where plans or where I'm living. Yep, that's a good. And honestly, I think that rain earlier on probably helped to galvanize the crowd. When you're at a rave, when you're at a festival, when it rains, it's a real kind of like cleanser of like who's really here for what, you know? Because all the fucking all the newbie fans, all the fucking clout shakers, all the fucking fame whores, they usually run away and hide. They usually run home because it's too wet and blah, blah, blah. But the ones who are really about that life, they've got, you know, their socks are soaked, their clothes are fucking drenched, their underwear is fucking leaking. They're the ones that still hold it down. They know they're probably going to get sick the next day, but you just stay and it kind of galvanizes everybody because you know that, hey, we're actually locked in for the long term. We're actually locked in for the right reasons. Another one says, yeah, it rained at the beginning, but the show, the lights, everything was 10 out of 10. Music and venue and vibes were 10 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. I'm glad to see a lot of people dancing, not filming. That's, but again, that probably goes to show the difference. And it's probably not their fault. They probably get blamed and they probably get a lot of stick, I think, unfairly Keinemusik for some of their shows. Like you'll see Ramper playing in a show. There's one legendary clip actually of Ramper playing a show. And he's sort of like having a good time behind the booth, like vibing. And there's just a row of kids just filming, recording him standing there, not dancing. That's not his fault. I think you go to certain places. You go to places like, you know, Mykonos in Greece. You go to Ibiza. You go to places like Miami and shit. People are going to be there stunting a little bit, there for the show, not there for having a good time. So, but you go to different places. People are not going to have their phones in their hands as much. I think London was a good example of that. And of course, Berlin, with it being the place where most people go to clubs where they don't even let you use your camera anyway. So you're probably used to not even taking out your phone. People are just going to be able to just have a good time and not really be bothered about posting shit. And which is also why you don't see a lot of clips on the Reddit. As much as people had a lot of fun, I didn't see that many clips on the Reddit. People just are too busy having fun, which is a good indication. Another person says, let me start with everything that was amazing. People were dancing all over the place. It was fun. However, I have to point out the tickets on stage were actually still very far from the DJ. Again, you shouldn't be going to a rave for a ticket to be closer to a DJ. Go to the rave to fucking for the rave. Go to the festival for the festival. Go to the party for the party. Like, honestly, as long as you can hear what they're playing, that's the main thing. If anything, a good thing would have been, probably cost a lot of money though. A good thing probably would have been, because of the size of the venue, because of the size of the place, they probably should have got some screens up. If I'm being a little bit nitpicky, they probably should have had a screen somewhere so you could have seen exactly what these was doing behind the stage. That would have been fucking sick to have seen, you know? Seeing the expression, the emotion, that would have been awesome to see. But I would assume getting a screen up at a rave, at a festival, is not that cheap. You're going to have somebody run the screens and shit. It's probably going to be super expensive, but I feel like that would have been the best way to go about things. Like have a screen up behind the booth so people can see exactly what's going on there. What's this? A live reaction of me hearing Keinemusik drop my track. When this happens in the crowd, what are you meant to do? Are you meant to turn around and tell people? Are you meant to make it really obvious that you made the tune? I feel like this is a little bit cringe. I'm not going to lie. Like post a clip on your socials, keep it moving, but this wanting your friends to film a react, like how do you know they're gonna play it? Did they tell you beforehand? So you get your friend to film you like react, like come on man, this is very, very lame. I'm not gonna lie. I find this very, very lame, very corny, very we shouldn't be co-signing this shit. I'm not encouraging this behavior, man. Like do your you know what I mean? Do your promotion in a dignified way, please, for the love of God. But then again, you know, the question needs to be said. Is there a way to self-promote with any amount of dignity? You're just hoping somebody says, look, he's got his hands over his... I'm assuming that's the guy that made it, right? You're just hoping somebody says, oh, what is that? Is that yours? It's like, oh, lame, bro. Fucking lame. Dorky behavior. Yuck. But yeah, look at the Keinemusik. The Keinemusik uniform. This girl on the left here looks a bit embarrassed, to be fair, to be wearing it. She saw herself in the reflection of the selfie camera, and you could tell she got a little bit embarrassed, you know? She got a little bit embarrassed. Because, you know, wearing that fucking, the Keinemusik uniform with the silk headscarf over the fucking hat, with the fucking glasses, honestly, get your own personality for the love of God. The only thing I'd say was that it was too far from the stage. I haven't found a way to reach the stage. It would have been a really bad experience. It's honestly better to be down on the dance floor than buying tickets on stage. Well, why do you buy it then, you dickhead? It was really good, not the best set, I would say. Still some unreleased bangers, but I enjoyed Amsterdam show last year more. It was a great show. The only thing that killed it a bit of the vibe was the fact that they were creating a new experiment with the front row being a part of the backstage. It felt very unfair and disappointing. Yeah, because there was like 4 different parties going on, right? Again, like not to nitpick, but I think that was the only thing they kind of did a misstep on. If you go back to the fucking Keinemusik page here, right, you can see that bird's eye view, right? Where's the bird's eye view? I think it's a good bird's eye. Oh no, I think it's over here, right? You could see that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that stage ticket that people keep talking about is this bit here. That must be the stage ticket. So this bit right here. So that block. So if you bought a ticket that was stage ticket, this is where you'll be standing. But there's also another bit here in the back that's kind of VIP-ish as well. You know, so there's all these little weird tiers and class systems and shit going on. Because there's another stage. There's a stage here with stairs, as you can see, and there's another stage to the left and the right of it. So there's one that's right in line with this peace sign and the other bits, and then the other bits here. So if you're back over there, you're not VIP. You know, if you're over here, you're VIP. Bit strange, but I guess, you know, you kind of got to give the people what they want. Blah 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 blah. More. Is there a review here? The after party was absolutely nuts. Great after. They had the after party too. It looked pretty cool. People loved. People, what's it? This is an ID from one of the people. Wanted an ID tag from one of the clips. One of the clips of the show here. Let's play this. Okay, cool, not too bad. A clip from the after party here. I don't know what the location was, but it looked pretty cool. Where the venue was, it looked really fucking cool. I think I might have seen I forgot what they call it. Is it Prolands Bar, however you pronounce the name? I think they might have done a rave here once before. I don't know what the venue is called, but it looks really nice. So yeah, cool little location there for the after party. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. Another clip of Resnick playing at the afters here. Fucking vibes. I did see a lot of people posting sale tickets of the after party. I guess people that didn't go, they must have been kicking themselves because the after party looks fucking live. Anyone know what track this was at the Berlin show? Let's play this. Cool. That sounds like a vibe, but again, very boring. Another clip from the afters. Someone knows a track from this, from the Berlin afters. Vibes, can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at that. Afters again looks fucking fun. More track IDs. Ooh, the smoke effect as well coming through that peace sign as well with the barbed wire and shit. The angles. They definitely set this up well for social media. This is a cool little picture. Cool angle as well. I'm not mad at that in the slightest. You see how that happens with these tunes? Like, I feel like the drop kind of like evaporates very quickly. That's why I don't like about this sound. This atmospheric house, this version of house music they make, when that drop, like the build up, you know, the crescendo is fucking great, right? Before it drops, it's great. And when it actually does drop, it's awesome. But soon after, it kind of evaporates very quickly. It kind of feels like the high you get off a balloon, you know? Like that split second is pretty cool, but it's not. It kind of goes really quickly. Same thing with this. It's like it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It just feels very lackluster, you know, like, a little bit. Not lackluster. No, that's a bad term. Probably underwhelming. That's what it is. Maybe it's a little bit underwhelming. The drop after all that build up, after all that fucking happening, it's like, you know, like come on, man, like really kick me up the ass, really smack me over the head. You know what I mean? Elbow me, kick me, beat me. Another clip from the after party. Personally, I don't think anything could ever top the Troxy in London. Intimate, but wow, the afters is the best thing in my life. Let's see this one. Of course, the cigarettes are out in effect at the fucking afters, right? I'm not sure if this is all smoke from the machines or if this is cigarettes, but one thing you know, when you go to a party in Berlin, there are going to be a ton of people smoking cigarettes. If you don't like cigarettes, you better not go. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Another one. Can someone help me with the ID? Is this from Berlin too? I think it might be from the Berlin show. Another angle. No, I don't think this is Berlin. Somewhere else. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Another Berlin Afters ID. Niggas want an ID from a 20-second snippet, you know? Like, how are you meant to get that from 20 seconds, brother? Another clip from a banger played by Desiree from Desire, or how do you say her name? I'm assuming it's going to be Desiree or Desiree. DC. D. Big up D. Big up D. A lot of security there, isn't it? A lot of fucking security. Security smoking cigarettes and shit. Gotta love Berlin and stuff. Nice, nice, nice. And I think that might be it. Last clip here from the rave. So many Caucasian people. God damn. Yeah, so big up the Mundeles. They had a good time. They had a good time, but also big up Keinemusik for putting on a pretty, what looks like fun event. You can't deny that. You can't freaking deny that.